I've been thinking about something a lot more lately now that Keith and I are retired. What if something happened to him and I would have to take care of our investments by myself? Now, I've always been the one that takes care of the finances, while he is the one that did all of the investing. And I am realizing that I don't really know how to work our accounts all by myself. So not only would I have lost my partner in crime, but now I would also need to know how to live off a system that he built. So this thought hits me hardest when Keith rolls out of the driveway on his bicycle. Every time he leaves, a small, quiet thought sits in the back of my mind. What if he doesn't come home today? And that scenario always sits with me, and it terrifies me. Now, I'm sharing this today because it is a topic that I have chose to ignore for so long because it's uncomfortable. But the reality is that I need to be prepared for the scenario of being alone. For the longest time, I would just sit back and let Keith do all the investing. I really had no idea how it worked. But today, I am stepping past that hesitation. I want to show you step by step how I learned to take the wheel. So if I ever had to walk this path alone, I know that our retirement dreams stay safe. When we left our jobs, we felt an incredible sense of ultimate freedom. But over the last few months, I've come to realize that that true freedom isn't just about the balance sitting inside a brokerage account. True freedom is having the absolute confidence to manage that money when your partner isn't sitting beside you to click the buttons. The very first barrier that I had to cross was totally mental. I had to deeply understand the legal and tax realities of spousal inheritance. So if the unthinkable happened tomorrow, IRS rules allow a surviving spouse to inherit and access retirement accounts penalty-free, even before they reach traditional retirement age. Now, the money is legally protected, and it belongs to the surviving partner. Now, knowing that law is one thing, but logging into a live portal during a moment of profound shock is something else entirely. In that emotional state, the fear of making a costly operational mistake is overwhelming. You worry that one wrong trade or improper transfer might accidentally trigger a massive unnecessary tax bill or even throw off your health insurance setup. Now, I do have my son, and he knows these financial systems inside and out. I also know that without a shadow of a doubt, he would be sitting here next to me, and he would take care of everything if I needed him to. But relying on someone else, even family, isn't true independence. I need to know that I can fund my own life, that I can pay my bills and keep our home running even through the tears. So let me walk you through the precise multi-step system that I built to bridge that gap between the numbers on a screen and the actual cash in my bank account. Now, once you break down a complex system down into simple, repeatable actions, then that fear starts to disappear. So here's my step-by-step operational survival plan. Step 1 is the safe haven plan. Now, most of our immediate living expenses do not sit in volatile growth stocks. They stay parked in the ultra-low risk cash equivalent, mostly SGOV, and that holds short-term US Treasury bills. It doesn't swing wildly with the ups and downs of the stock market, and it does generate a reliable yield. So when the market is volatile or when life gets chaotic, this is my safe harbor. I don't have to worry about selling stocks at a loss to pay next month's bills. Step 2 is placing the trade and managing tax lots. Now, when I need to replenish our cash, I log into our main Fidelity account. I navigate to our holdings, select an asset, and prepare to execute a trade. Now, instead of overcomplicating things with complex order types, I simply use a market order that is set to sell at the current price. Keith has also showed me how to check our specific tax lots. Now, by choosing specific lots to sell, I can pull out cash while intentionally minimizing taxable capital gains. So this is going to protect our income thresholds which is vital for maintaining our health insurance plan and keeping our monthly subsidies intact. Step 3 is the SPAXX holding tank. Now, this was the exact mechanics piece that used to confuse me the most. When you click sell in your brokerage account, the proceeds don't magically appear in your checking account instantly. The money actually moves into an internal core holding tank. In our case, it's Fidelity's SPAXX fund. Now, the money sits there for one full business day while the trade officially settles. So recognizing that 1-day delay has completely eliminated my fear of missing any money. And step 4 is the final transfer. Now, once that trade clears and the funds settle in SPAXX, I click transfer, select my checking account, and initiate our standard monthly distribution of whatever I might need. Within 24 hours, the funds land in my bank. The household bills are automated, the lights stay on, and my daily life remains fully funded. Once I walked through this entire process step by step and proved to myself that I could execute these transactions independently, then the underlying fear has simply evaporated. This isn't just Keith's department anymore. Our portfolio isn't a terrifying black box of complex numbers that I am afraid to touch. It is our shared roadmap, and now I know how to drive it. And to make sure that this works seamlessly in real life, Keith and I have put together a simple checklist of everything that I need to know. It has all of our account numbers, passwords, and important documents all in one place, along with clear instructions on how to keep our monthly income flowing. Now, we're going through these steps together right now, while everything is good and calm, because trying to learn this during a crisis is the last thing anyone wants to do. So if you're sitting where I was, letting your partner handle it all because it feels too scary to look at, I hope that this gives you courage to ask the hard questions today. Don't wait for a crisis to learn your numbers. Take control of your financial destiny today. Now, I'd love to hear from you all. Have you or your spouse talked through a plan like this? Or is one of you still sitting back and letting the other manage it all? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.